Bellevue, Manchester, 1963. Dave Charnley getting his third crack at the former world lightweight champion Joe Brown. Brown from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Dave Charnley from Dartford in Kent. And there's a 10-year age difference between these two men. Charnley 10 years younger at 27. And they fought twice previously. The first time Brown defended his world lightweight title, won on points over 15 rounds. And the second time he stopped Dave Charnley in 6. And for the record, Dave Charnley comes into this fight with a 45-win record, 9 defeats in 55 outings. He's also the reigning British and European champion. He was the Commonwealth champion, but he lost that. And as for Joe Brown, very experienced fighter, 86 wins, 24 defeats, and 11 draws in 121 outings. And the first time these two men fought was 1959, the return was in 61, and this is 1963. So the Kent southpaw then, Dave Charnley. Had some excellent wins in his career, Charnley. Beats Sammy McCarthy. He then beat Joe Lucy in 1957 for the British lightweight title. His first crack at the Commonwealth title ended unsuccessfully when he fought Willie Towell, the South African, in London. Other excellent wins: Ron Hinson, Don Jordan, Peter Waterman. Former world lightweight champion Carlos Ortiz beat Charnley in 1958. And a second meeting with Willie Towell for the Commonwealth crown ended successfully for Dave Charnley when he won on a 10th round knockout of 15. Put all 3 titles on the line when he fought Darky Hughes in 1961. British, European and Commonwealth crowns, and won inside the first round. He lost his Commonwealth crown to Bunny Grant last year on points over 15 rounds, and here he is facing Joe Brown as the British and European champion. There have been some terrific fights on Joe Brown's record. Made 12 successful defences of the world lightweight title, ultimately losing it to Carlos Ortiz, a man who'd beaten Dave Charnley as well. And the funny thing about Joe Brown, he lost 3 of his first 6 fights. So the 37-year-old former world lightweight champion against the younger, hungrier Dave Charnley. Round 2 it is, then it was scheduled 10. And Joe Brown, who first became world lightweight champion back in 1956, they beat Wallace Smith on points, a split decision over 15 rounds. So it was 2 years ago these two men last met, and 2 years prior to that. And there's nothing to suggest that Charnley can overturn those 2 previous defeats, except one simple factor, and that is the fact that Joe Brown is significantly older than he was then. The first time Brown met Charnley was in Houston. The second time they fought was in London. This is Manchester. And Charnley always taking the fight to Brown here. Brown looking to counter-punch most of the way. Referring for this bout is Frank Wilson. So Dave Charnley then may not get a better chance of beating Joe Brown, who had a bit of a ropey start to his professional career, but did come good. Took Joe Brown 13 years to become world lightweight champion. Turned pro back in 1943, won the title in 56. Charnley always going forward, always the aggressor with both hands. And he must do something psychologically to an opponent when you know you've been beaten twice. Nice right hook there from Charnley, but he took a long straight right cross from Brown. So round 3 it is then, and Charnley looks like he's taken the first couple. He has been the aggressor throughout. He's had some good punches, but he has taken a couple of good ones too. And Dave Charnley looks on the money here. Joe Brown, it must be said, has been at times a temperamental character. He once had the fight won when one of the handlers of his opponent got in the ring, and Brown refused to continue when he had the fight at his mercy, and consequently the decision went against him. Lost on disqualification. He's also been known to have financial squabbles with various promoters over the years, to the extent that he actually pulled out of the fight on one occasion and was arrested at the airport. Nice straight left there from Charnley, right on the button. Lovely punches there from Brown. Again, Charnley picks him off. Excellent boxing from the southpaw style here, Dave Charnley. Brown not enjoying the attention. He's getting so far from Charnley's fists. So far, a very good performance from Dave Charnley. That said, he was beaten in 6 rounds. The second time these two men met. Charnley then up the pace. And the big question is, can Brown go with it? Joe Brown must have thought that nothing would really go his way early on in his career. Nice right there from him. But as I say, 13 years after his professional debut, he became world lightweight champion, and that's a long time.